Hi, a very good evening to all of you. Today, the question what we have is an opinion question. This opinion question, they're asking about the solution for environmental problems, whether an increase in the price of fuels can be considered as the best way to solve environmental problems. So it's a personal opinion question where you have to answer, you have to give a clear-cut opinion on the issue. So it is suggested, or it is argued, or it is put forth by a group of people that the most effective way to solve the environmental problems is the hike in the price of fuel. So this is the first sentence, and this can be seen as same as the first particular line of the question, that is the statement part of the question. The statement part of the question is same here. The matter is the same, but the construction of sentence is a little bit different. So one thing we have to see is that the starting of the essay. So it is suggested. So it is opined. It is argued. It is uh, it is believed. You can go with some generalizing phrases so that we are going to start the essay. And this, if you are going ahead with a generalizing phrase here, I can separate it to it with the personal thing. This is your personal opinion. I do not think it can make a significant impact in fighting environmental issues. So we have two phrases here now. We have two sentences, and these two sentences are contradicting here. So we have a suggestion here, and this is a suggestion. The suggestion is like that a hike in the price of fuels can reduce or solve the environmental problems. Now, I have said it seems to be logical in one way. I do not think it can make significant impact in fighting environmental issues. So we have, it appears to be logical. It appears to be rational to many. At a preliminary look, if I look from outside, it appears to be a rational way to solve the environmental problems. But I don't personally think this can make a significant impact in fighting the environmental issues. What we have said in this green, in this blue highlight, that we call it thesis statement. So this is the thesis statement, and this is what we are going to explain in the body paragraphs which follows. So we are going to explain what we have written in this blue highlight. So we have two parts there. The first part is this move seems to be rational. The second thing, that it's not going to make a significant impact. So this is what. So the main idea, what you have said is that it's not going to make significant impact. And why you are thinking it's not going to make significant impact is to be presented first. And it is presented in the two paragraphs which are highlighted in yellow. And let's go and have the quick look on this thing. The cardinal reason why I hesitate to align. Now, the second reason, though we have connections here with the paragraph number 1 and paragraph number 2, paragraph number 3, we have cohesion and coherence intact. Very tight connections are there. So between each sentences and between each paragraph, we should have the connections, and that's what we have to expect in a good essay. So the cardinal reason why I hesitate, that is because of the fact that fuel falls in the category of essential commodities. So it is it is in the category of essential commodities. So whenever you are going to rise the price of an essential commodity, people are not going, people still use it. People still use it, whatever it is. It's people still continue to buy even at a higher price. So this is not the best way, as we have said in the first, because it is one of the integral parts of human life. Fuel is one of the integral parts of human life, so without which we cannot sustain our life. So that's the reason we have to use it even at a higher price. The second reason is because of other better alternatives. We have other better alternatives here. What are the better alternatives? One is the wise use of resources. And if you use it, you can save the fuel for the future, and you can reduce considerable proportion of pollution, especially air pollution and water pollution. Another alternative is to discourage today's use and throw culture and promote the reuse and recycling of non-biodegradable products. So we are going to reuse and recycle non-biodegradable products, which is causing environmental pollutions. Tons and tons of electronic waste are dumped. It's not recycled. So many of the countries started recycling this thing because they have realized the harm which it may cause. So we have 2 points here. First paragraph, fuel falls in the category of essential commodities. The second paragraph, I've said we have other sources, other alternatives. One is the rational use of energy, whatever it may be. Another thing is we have to discourage use and throw culture and encourage reuse and recycling. And the third paragraph, you can see the some sorts of positive aspects you can see. Admit that a hike in the fuel price can reduce the use of fuels. Yeah, it can reduce the use of fuels, but it's still, people still use it. It can reduce the use of fuels. However, unless and until a cheaper and sustainable source of renewable energy is introduced, it cannot make a significant, because they don't have any alternatives. Because we don't have any alternatives, we have to use the existing sources of fuel. That's fossil fuel we use primarily. So when we have an effective alternative for this fuel sources, this price in the hike may have a significant impact there. Unless and until it's not going to make a significant impact, because people still buy it, use it. To conclude, though some positive impacts can be expected by an increased fuel price, I can definitely say this is not the best way in dealing with environmental crisis. We do have a lot of environmental crisis. Increasing the fuel price cannot be seen as the best way to solve environmental crisis. Even though there are some positive impacts there may be some positive impacts. So in many ways, it can positively affect the environmental problems, but I don't think that's the best way right now, as per the details, as per the explanation we have said. Thank you, and that is the end of the explanation here.